Alright, so this isn't really a tutorial, it's more of a time-lapsed video of me drawing a bunch of faces. Now, I started this because, well, originally I wanted to do another tutorial on proportions, like from the front, and I figured maybe I should do a warm-up, so I recorded that part anyway, the warm-up. And so I started in the middle with the face and just kind of branched out to see what would happen. And what I wanted to do is kind of just get the mileage in so that when it comes time to record it would be good, but I felt like it was good enough to show anyway. So something about faces, to be able to draw them well, I think, is you have to do them wrong first. You have to do really bad faces. I know this sounds kind of counterintuitive, but I think much like learning anything, there's a learning process. You have to do things like the wrong way, just to get it out of the way. I mean, I've filled up tons of sketchbooks of just really bad faces, and because of that I put in a bunch of mileage of what works, what doesn't work, what looks good, and you kind of look back and kind of see what worked and what didn't work, but it's all about putting in that mileage, and from that you're able to notice differences between different kinds of faces, and you'll see here there's a variety from like kind of stylized, cartoonish to realistic almost, and you'll see that I'm going to put on lighting and shadows and stuff. But yeah, and also it presents an opportunity for you to practice different hairstyles, different expressions, definitely. And I have to recommend, definitely grab a mirror and draw yourself a lot, like smiling, frowning, all that stuff, just to get a feel. And it's so much better when you're referencing something in real life. The way they learn in atelier classical art schools is that they practice from these white cast statues or sculptures, like the Eye of David, or different heads and busts. And the reason they do that is because, well, a model moves, right? But with the sculpt, you can draw as long as you want. It's not going to move. Having said that, after they get good at drawing from the sculptures, they move on to drawing actual people. That's when they're ready, right? And so what I'm not sure about is, I don't know if they draw from imagination, because I don't know if, like, in that school of thought, they're probably not even interested in designing characters. They're just kind of, from my understanding, drawing the classical way and wanting to make classical paintings, images, and all that stuff. Although there are some artists who are from that type of whatever, I'm digressing. So back to the faces, and what you'll see is that I lowered the opacity of the first wave of faces, right? And I used a really kind of thick brush so that I don't have to worry too much about detail. I just kind of indicated little blobs here and there. I was like, oh, this little triangle is going to be the eye. The eye is going to be somewhere in here. And when I lowered the opacity of that, I was able to just go on top of that with a new layer and with a smaller brush and draw kind of like tracing the outlines that are already there, right? I think it's a useful way of going about doing things. One of the tricky things to do when you're drawing heads and faces, is having them look up. So there's something terrifying to artists about drawing the underside of the chin. I struggled with this for so long, and it's kind of a nightmare to try to get good at that. But really, it's pretty simple. You have to just look at it as a kind of triangle, right? Well, for the female at least. And it's something you pick up when you understand three-dimensional form, and that's something you can learn if you have statues or sculptures or people that are around you. I think I had a lot of fun with this because I was kind of approaching it in a more painterly style, in terms of, well, not style, but like I wanted to kind of loosen up the line work and let it blend into the lower layer that's below it, and that kind of allows for the imagination to imply detail somewhere in there. Eyebrows. Pay attention to the eyebrows, because eyebrows tell a lot of the character. Through the eyebrows, you can communicate a lot of expression, right? You can point them down, up, furrow them, and it's really useful. So try to get familiar with a bunch of different eyebrow shapes and be familiar with them, because it's a really beneficial thing. You can make them thicker eyebrows to make them more masculine or whatever, but if you screw it up and it doesn't look like it's right, then it could ruin your whole image. But if you understand it, that, well, I guess I'll have to do a tutorial about this, but drawing heads is a lot easier if you know how to draw a skull, because you'll notice that the eyebrows usually follow the contour of the top of your eye socket. And something about this process that I was doing when I was warming up is it was more of a feel it out thing. I wasn't trying to be too analytical and measuring and drawing a perfect circle and then whatever, and then tracing it perfectly and then whatever. No, it was more like kind of scratching away and letting things grow kind of organically in different styles. And obviously it's all being drawn from imagination, which, by the way, I don't know if that's a proper way to call it. Is it really my imagination? Like, I'm not imagining a face and drawing it. It's more that I'm putting some marks down and I say, oh, that looks like a face. And then I put an eyeball. I'm like, oh, that looks like an eyeball. And then it kind of grows into something. So I need to, probably clarify that and come up with a different word for it. Maybe it's like drawing from thin air or blank paper. I don't know. But it's certainly not like I'm imagining something specific and then making it happen on paper, right? But I can do that if I need to. Oftentimes it doesn't come out the way I want it to, but that's part of the process. Even with things I do at work professionally, like I'll have a plan and I'll do what I have in mind. I'll draw that or paint that. Obviously, it doesn't look like the way I want it to until I come back at it 4 or 5 times. Fixing it and rearranging things and trying to make it better. So there's that. By the way, did you guys notice my logo? I animated it. I was like, I'm trying to teach myself After Effects. It seems to be useful. The reason it's a bird, by the way, well, it's a sparrow, is because my last name, Aldoori, means sparrow, or of the sparrow, or it's specifically referring to I think, town somewhere in Iraq called Dur, and I guess my family is from there, or my ancestry is from there, and we just have that as a name. And I think there's a whole bunch of other Aldooris, and I think there's a couple other Ahmed Aldooris too. I don't know if I'm related to them, but I remember searching the internet and I'm like, wait, you have my name, how dare you? So, but I think I'm the only one with this name in America. I think. I'm not sure. There might be one other. I think I gotta take him out. I'm gonna get in trouble for this. Man, I think the more I think about it, I'm trying to force too much of a style sometimes, and I don't know who I'm influenced by anymore. Like, I've been influenced by so many different artists, and it's kind of culminating into what you see now. Like, I looked up to Ian McCaig a lot, Luke Hollis, J. Scott Campbell, all for like people and stuff. And then I don't know, but at the same time I want to jump between kind of like the Glenn Keane Disney faces, as well as more realistic, almost surreal, creepy kind of stuff too. I don't know. What am I afraid of? Why am I so afraid to join the conversation of artwork and just putting it out there? But it's all these struggles of an artist. I think I should probably write a book about art, being an artist, or the struggle of an artist, and what it's like to be one. Anyway, well, yeah, that's that. And you'll see there on the bottom right, kind of like a Disney, Disney-styled kind of face with that girl. And of course, there's the angry, screaming girl lady next to her, because practicing a range of expressions is really useful. By the way, I am very thankful for all the new followers and subscribers and all the comments. I try to get back to as many as I can with the time that I have. But yeah, it's been really great and crazy because I went back to my older videos and I'm like cringing at how bad they were, and I don't know, I think I'm definitely getting better at making these videos, and it's definitely a learning process, even though I'm, you know, trying to juggle between work life and personal art and you know, all that stuff. Who knows, maybe I'll eventually just do this full time, but I don't know. I gotta start making some stuff to put on either Gumroad or my site or something. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Hopefully there's somebody out there willing to give a couple bucks for a couple tutorials. Anyway, yeah. Oh, by the way, stay tuned for the next video, which is gonna be the same stuff, but I'm gonna be painting over it. Hopefully I'll be able to edit that and upload it soon. And I could just upload it as is, but I do want to do a voiceover because people are all like, well, oh, that's a recording, a speed painting. Well, that's cool. All right, yeah, but we want you to talk. Well, okay, so we'll, you know, stay tuned for that. All right. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe for more videos and more tutorials, more podcast situations like this. I don't know, is this really a podcast? No, it's just me talking. Well, I guess that's what a podcast is, but it's a video. Whatever. Who cares? I'm working with someone and to make a website, because my current website is just a gallery of my stuff. But I want to make something cooler to look at, so with like dynamic stuff. So that's coming right up, hopefully soon, and I'll show that to y'all. All right, thanks for tuning in. Have a good day, night, morning, afternoon, whatever.